What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads, and why you're watching this video is because you want to know who to start week one and who are some good plays. These are some plays I'll probably throwing some FanDuel lineups. I always like to do that, and so probably we're going to be starting off Mondays. We'll probably do players. Today's Monday, but you might see this Monday night-ish. Monday is going to be players that I love in that upcoming week. Tuesday is going to be players that I'm super cold on in that upcoming week. And Wednesday through whatever, Friday will probably be the matchup of Thursday, and Wednesday and Thursday we'll figure it out yet. So, all right, we're going to do 2 QBs, 3 running backs, 3 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, and 3 defenses. So let's start off. We're actually going to start with running backs. And the first one, and I tried not to take the easiest, that low-hanging fruit. I'm not going to say Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, and CMC week one. Like, we're not doing that. We're starting off ugly. We're starting off with Leonard Fournette. Man, when we're starting off with Leonard Fournette, we're starting off real tough. But there's a couple different reasons. I think that against Dallas is the team that they play against. It's going to be a high-scoring game, but it's also one of the biggest biggest differences when it comes to Vegas odds. -8 Tampa Bay is. So Tampa Bay is heavily favored. You always want that heavily favored team because they're going to run that second half. It's also a 52-point over-under, so lots of scoring in those games. So chances are Leonard Fournette could fall into the end zone. So I'm looking at Leonard Fournette being a really good play here. And if for some reason you start hearing news, maybe Friday comes around and you start hearing news, Ronald Jones could be that player as well. It just depends on who's going to start. So who are you going to gamble with? I think it's going to be Leonard Fournette, but I mean by Friday, Saturday time, it could change. My opinion could change. The second running back here is James Robinson. James Robinson is going to be against the putrid Houston defense. Houston has a really good chance of being potentially 0-17. And so when you're looking at a team like the Jaguars are going to be probably up in this game. And they're also going to want Lawrence to be not showcased, but they're going to want him kind of eased into the NFL season here. That's my opinion. Could be wrong. But I think that James Robinson, you're going to see a heavy dose of him. You might even see a little bit of Carlos Hyde, but James Robinson, the 32 ranked defense, and they let up 160 rush yards a game. So give 60 to Hyde, give 100 to James Robinson, plus a touchdown. It's easily what you could see week one. All right, the third running back is Raheem Mostert. So as you see, these guys are not like on automatic starts, but Raheem Mostert is going to be playing against the Lions. Again, the same thing, -7 over-under, and they were 28th in rush defense. Lions defense, again, had change in coaching systems, and I think it's going to take some time for that to develop, Dan Campbell's defense. I think Raheem Mostert has a really good chance, not Trey Sermon. I think Raheem Mostert has a really good chance of being a really top 12 running back in week one, along with probably James Robinson. I think Leonard Fournette could be a running back too in week one. All right, let's go to wide receivers. And there's a reason why quarterbacks are going to kind of follow in with some of these wide receivers. But wide receiver, Russell Gage, and we talk about a 14th ranked defense, and you go, oh wow, the Eagles look like they're a good defense, but the Eagles defense fell apart down the stretch. 310 yards let up in the last 3 games, and again, I think that this is going to be a higher scoring game when it comes down to it. I think the Eagles, the Falcons defense is not very good, at least it wasn't last year, so that is a big key of why I think they were one of the worst defenses, actually, the Falcons were. So if you have a bad defense and potentially a really good offense in the Falcons, I could see the Falcons really moving the ball down and then the Eagles trying to keep up with them as well. And that puts me, well, actually, one of my quarterbacks, spoilers, Matt Ryan, but we'll get to another wide receiver here, is Julio Jones. I think you're going to see the showcase of Julio Jones right off the bat. 52-point over-under, which is a huge over-under, and Tennessee is favored. They are slightly favored in this game against Arizona. I think this is going to be one of the highest scoring games that you're going to see of the weekend. And so Julio Jones, I think you're going to see him showcase his abilities. I think A.J. Brown, we don't know if he's going to play, not play, whatever it's going to be. I think Julio Jones is going to be the big target, and you're going to see a good 120, 130 yards receiving out of Julio right off the bat. And you're going to be like, crap, whoa, where'd that come from? Because it's not surprising. It's just Julio Jones would have done that last year pretty much every game. It just, he got hurt, and we forget about that. Number 3 wide receivers, Michael Pittman, and he's against Seattle, which we always see the Legend of Boom and the Legion of Boom. Sorry, not the Legend. The Legion of Boom. And we always thought of Seattle being this this very, very good defense, and they were 30th in pass rank defense. And I think Michael Pittman is going to be the most heavily targeted receiver on that side of the football. I mean, we look at T.Y. Hilton, not going to be there. Paris Campbell still is. Always seems like recovering from injury. So I think Michael Pittman is going to be the alpha there for a while. I think he's actually a kind of a sleeper this year, not only just this first week of the season. Let's go to QBs, and then we'll go to tight ends and defenses. QBs, Matt Ryan versus the Eagles, and we already kind of discussed. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. And Kyler Murray versus Tennessee. Again, Tennessee is slightly favored, but a 52-point over-under. And I think when you see that kind of says, okay, this is going to be a higher-scoring game. And Kyler Murray, I think, is going to try to use his legs a ton right away. And I sometimes see that with some of these rushing quarterbacks. They either do one of two things. They either start off the season with like no rushing, and then like kind of like Lamar, and then all of a sudden, boom, they pick it up. Or some running quarterbacks just run until they get a couple hits, and they're like, maybe I'm going to just start throwing the ball away a little bit more. So we'll just see which one it is for Kyler Murray. But Kyler Murray against Tennessee, I think Tennessee's going to be ahead in this game. I think Arizona's going to have to try to come back from behind. So you're going to see Kyler Murray. He might have a couple picks, maybe a pick or two here, but I think it's going to be a really good game for Kyler Murray, rushing-wise as well. The tight ends, George Kittle, this is the low-hanging fruit. I just had to. I mean, it's against Detroit, 31st in pass, 376 yards they've let up in passing the last 3 games of 2020 season. You just got to go with George Kittle here. I mean, this is just the low-hanging fruit. You got to take him. And this is DFS play. I love Kelsey usually week 1 of every season, but George Kittle right off the bat. And probably he's cheaper. I have not looked in FanDuel and see if it's cheaper, or DraftKings, but whatever it is. Number 2 is going to be Kyle Pitts. And you might say, why Kyle Pitts right off the bat? He's a rookie. I think you're going to see some Kyle Pitts show right off the bat, and people are going to start getting freaky. They're going to freak out is what's going to happen. Kyle Pitts, I think, is going to be a top, we'll just say 5 tight end on the week. Whatever that is. That could be 60, 70 yards and maybe a score, or maybe 60 yards and a score, something along those lines. And so you're going to see people start to go nuts on Kyle Pitts already, which is fine, but it's going to happen right off the bat. Defenses, these low-hanging fruit, kind of. Anybody that ever plays Houston, which is going to be the Jags week 1. So if you don't know that, Jags, if you didn't pick a good defense or you don't have a good defense, Jags is going to be good. Broncos versus Giants, I think Giants are going to be slow right off the gate. I think Galladay, Barkley, like they're all recovering from injury or currently injured or having some issues with that. So I think that Broncos are going to be a really good play here. And then Dolphins versus Patriots. I think Patriots, when you ever have a first start for a rookie quarterback, you just got to go after it. And I think the Dolphins have a decent defense, and you're going to be against Mac Jones. And so Mac Jones, again, will he be amazing? He doesn't have weapons around him right now. I mean, he has Jacoby Myers. He has Nelson Aguilar. Like, these are, and N'Keal Harry, which I think is on the pup, or he's injured. He's always injured or on the pup. And either way, it doesn't really matter. He's not playing. So it's going to be the Damian Harris running show. And really, I don't think the Patriots offense is going to be super scary until Mac Jones tries to figure it out. And we'll see how long that takes. I feel bad for Mac Jones that he just has to be on a crappy team, a crappy offense at least. I mean, it is what it is. So those are my week 1, like, hey, put those in your lineup, or if you don't have those players, like you're not going to get George Kittle, then those would be my DFS plays as well. All right, so this is Marcus Dynasty Football Dads. Season's going to be here soon, and subscribe if you haven't yet. All right, peace out.